Foreign, I first heard of the Digimon World series while watching a live stream of someone playing the original game. Digimon World on the PS1, the high amount of time they spent in the menus, not to mention the numerous restarting attempts of the save file left me curious as to how anyone could find enjoyment with this type of simulation RPG. This experience impacted me, but when I found out that the newest entry, Digimon World Next Order, was already a few years old, by that point I did not know when I would have a chance to play. However, that was until it's re-centralized on Nintendo Switch and PC, so now it's my turn to see what kind of digitamer I am, and with the portability of this Switch, it's probably the most accessible this experience has ever been outside of Japan. Thank you. In Digimon World Next Order, you play as a young digitamer who gets sucked into the digital world. The objective is simply defeat the machine German spread all across the Digi world and bring peace to the realm, and to do this you must bring in all of the Digimon. To help prosper the hub world of Flodia in total, there are only 4 chapters in the entire narrative, but if you thought that 4 chapters would mean that you could beat this in just 15 to 12 hours, then think again. Most of your time will be spent racing your 2 Digimon partners, notable at the training hell, where you will increase their stats and evolve them, while I would hesitate to call Digimon World Next Order an open world game. After all, there are several points of differentiations. It continually gives your life freedom. Even after playing for our 13 hours, I have barely enhanced clothed chapter 2. By raising your partners, you will subtly obtain what are known as Digi-evolution hints, which can be accessed through the history menu. That way you can figure out what stat is required for that Digimon to evolve, though it is worth nothing, that it's all but random at the end of the day, but of course you also never know when the inevitable death of your prestigious partner will come knocking on the door. So I suggest preparing yourself emotionally, no matter how many days elapse. However, Digimon World Next Order has no time limit in the traditional way that a bad ending will trigger after a certain amount of time. Still, I certainly would not blame someone for using a guide, because good grief, it can get very confusing at times, especially when it comes to fulfilling specific Digimon requests, or knowing where to go next without consulting the map every 10 seconds. Still, let's get to the 2 things that might be why you clicked on this review in the first place. The first of them, of course, is how well Digimon World Next Order runs on the Nintendo Switch, and throughout my time I did not experience any crashes, and the frame rate managed to maintain a consistent 16 the full time. Also, perhaps the occasional frame drop happened during some crazy attack effects. Furthermore, this is in quite unquote first time that Digimon World Next Order is on a portable console, while a Vita version was released in Japan. A Western release never came. A fun fact: after asking one of our staff, I learned that the Vita versions had the English translations implemented into the code, but was never released officially. Nonetheless, while the PS4 versions frequently gets on sale, the Switch versions is currently at full retail price, which stinks a bit, and the full retail price is why we have to consider 2 new features into the equations: beginner mode and the ability to dash. While in the overworld, I personally don't understand why dashing is touted as a selling point, but I digress after comparing it to the original PS4 releases. Easy mode, beginner mode feels more forgiving, still it does not seem to make a significant difference, so that is not impossible to tell since your mileage can significantly vary. However, it should be noted that in this release hard mode now requires you to beat the final boss once to unlock it. Furthermore, the dash feature, while handy, requires you to hold the Pro controller in highly uncomfortable positions. This is because to dash you must keep holding the B button to run, and not only is the speed increase not that impressive, but I also found myself having to do a claw grip on my controller because of the positions of the buttons. It does not get any better with the Joy-Cons. Either, in fact, I would say it's even more uncomfortable. They strongly advise first-time players and fans of the Digimon franchise not to pick Next Order as their first serious game. The controls and the gameplay incredibly intuitive, and it's easy to get confused about what to do, plus the menus undeniably clunky even though the two-partner system and beginner mode does make it a bit forgiving each release.